Matt, you mentioned that the Bitcoin ETF was the most successful ETF launch in history. That's an interesting claim, but update us on where we are right now. What's total assets under management, and parse out, of course, Grayscale's, what did they have, 27 billion initially in the whole game? Where are we at, and how is the suite of spot Bitcoin ETFs trading relative to Bitcoin?
Yeah, they're doing fantastic. They're tracking Bitcoin's price virtually perfectly. They're trading at very tight spreads, and they're charging low fees. So for investors, they're often the lowest cost, most liquid, most accurate way they have to gain access to this space. And that's really exciting. We love doing that with the Bitwise Bitcoin ETF and BITB, and our competitors do with their ETFs as well. There's maybe $50 billion in assets, north of $10 billion of net flows. Flows have restarted after taking a few days off. We're actually in a really interesting point right now, Bob, because we're getting the 13F filings, where we're seeing whether professional investors are allocating to these ETFs. Those filings are due May 15th, but they're already a large number in, and there are a huge number of really iconic firms allocating to these ETFs, well north of 500 professional investors making investments, including firms that manage money on behalf of Yale and Princeton and others, firms like Hightower Advisors. These ETFs are being adopted by professional investors. We're learning that right now. And I suspect we're going to see the inflows from that group accelerate in the second half of the year. So from any perspective, a massive success. And I think that success will continue and compound in the second half.
And it's easy to see why this is the case, Bob. Everybody loves ETFs, the most popular investment vehicle in America. They're low cost, they're highly transparent, they're very liquid, they're extremely familiar. You can put them in any brokerage account where you can dollar cost average, you can rebalance, you can do tax loss harvesting. Really easy to own and manage, easier than the complexity of Bitcoin directly. And now that they're available, everybody who has always been curious about Bitcoin or has been wanting to do Bitcoin but has found it daunting to engage, now can do so in the easiest way, most familiar way possible. And that's why we're seeing the flood of tens of billions of dollars into this.
So you said 50 billion right now, AUM, for all the Bitcoin, spot Bitcoin ETFs. Is that right, Matt?
Yeah, around there, Bob. Yep.
Okay, so we started out with, well, Grayscale had 27 itself, right? Back in January, is that right? Was it 27 billion?
That's about right. And then we had some market appreciation, right? The price is up from 50 to 63. And but we have had this historic net flows, which again is just
so even with just a wide guess here, at least $5 billion a month in inflows going in just in the last 4 or 5 months. That's a pretty good number.
It's by far a record-shattering event. This is, if you compare the flows that went into GLD, which up until now was the record setter for asset flows, these ETFs have shattered the record. The amount of money that has flowed in such an incredibly short period of time demonstrates investor interest in this and the consumer buildup and the excitement behind this. And yet, as Matt has pointed out, relatively few RIA firms or institutional investors or major Fortune 500 companies have yet to participate. This is going to be coming over the next couple of years. It's going to get very exciting.
Guys, I'm going to have to leave it there. It's been fascinating as always. And Matt, let us know about those updates on May 15th. I'd love to see what kind of investors are involved, particularly if more institutional investors are. Let's keep us updated on that.